Hello beautiful friends, and welcome to my 1 month update for my Pan That Palette 2019 and my Pan That Face Palette 2019. Now this is the first time you're seeing them on my YouTube channel, but I did start both of these a month ago on Instagram, so I will show you some pictures of what they looked like before, and then you can see them now. So for my Pan That Palette 2019, I am working on the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. And this one, I love this palette. It is very neutral, so it doesn't inspire the most creativity for me, but I do really like the quality of these shadows, how they perform, and there are some nice colors in here. And it smells like chocolate, which I don't normally like fragrance in products, but if it's chocolate, I'm kind of okay with it. Ooh. So this is the palette. I'm going to put in a picture of what it looked like about a month ago. And then this is what it looks like now. So there's some nice changes in here. The shades that I am primarily focusing on are Satin Sheets, what is this? Molasses Chip, Mocha, Divinity, and Dark Truffle. I'm using the other ones occasionally. I've used Totally Fetch a few times, I've used Sprinkles a few times, but those are the ones that I'm mostly working on. And I'm happy to say that the pan in Molasses Chip has expanded. There's a nice, you probably won't be able to see it, no. But there's a nice big dip in Divinity down here. I hit pan on Mocha, which is super exciting. And Satin Sheets has a nice big long space of side pan. Woo! And Dark Truffle has a nice dip in it as well. That wasn't really there before. So, super exciting. I think within the next month, I'm definitely going to expand the pan on these two. This one is just really, really easy to get through. I kind of have to load it on in order to get the pigment to be really bright. And so I use quite a bit of this every time I use this shade. I've been enjoying putting down a cream highlight kind of as a base and putting this on top of it, and it just gives this super blinding shiny eye look, which is kind of fun. And so I think that I'll probably make quite a bit of progress. I think I'd like to maybe try to go for the side pan up here, and then I can just work on the sides. So that's my goal for that one. I think I'd like to hit side pan on Molasses Chip and expand this pan a little bit. And I really don't know how close to pan I am on Divinity. I feel like I'm pretty close, but I felt like I was really close on Mocha for a long time, and it took so long to finally get pan on that one. But I think Divinity is probably the next one. I think Dark Truffle's still got quite a bit, and because this one is so pigmented, I really can't use that much of it, and it's shimmery, so normally with a shade like this I would maybe double up and use it in my brows, but I don't want glittery brows, so I won't do that. So probably Divinity, maybe hit pan and just keep working on this one. So yeah, so that is my Pan That Palette 2019. Now for my Pan That Face palette, this one I actually started, I don't think it's been a full month since I've started this one, but I have this little magnetic palette, so I actually built this face palette myself with some singles and depotted things, and there's some explaining to do on this one. So I originally started with a face powder, a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. But shortly after I started this palette, I have this Milani blush that got chipped off right here, and there were just two big loose pieces in here, and I did I tried to depot this, and it did work, but it made the blush really weak and there was a big crack in it, and then eventually those pieces just fell out. So I didn't want those two pieces just like floating around in here and causing an issue. So I decided that I would take them and repress them into a different container and then just use up that little one. So I repressed it into this little single blush container. There's not actually a pan in here. I just like pressed it into the bottom of it and it was fine. This is, I'll put up a picture of what it looked like when I first repressed it. And then this is what it looks like now. So I've made quite a bit of progress on it. It's really not that much product. It was probably like, you know, a hefty sample size. So it's almost done. I've probably got, I don't know, maybe another week left on this one. And then I will move on to the blush in my Pan That Face palette. So I actually had a different blush in my Pan That Face palette originally, but because I was using that blush, I didn't actually work on the blush in here and have not worked on the blush in here at all. And so I ended up changing the blush in here. So the original picture, there's a different blush in here. I'll go ahead and put up the original picture now so you can see what it looked like before. And then this is what it looks like now. So you'll see that I took out the Big Tarte blush and I put in 2 Ben Nye blushes. The reason for that is I started working on this one and I hit pan on this so fast. And you can see I have an enormous pan. This product just went so incredibly fast. And so I thought instead of working on that huge, super pigmented Tarte blush that will take me forever to get through, I thought I would put in 2 of these Ben Nye blushes. This is a Ben Nye face powder, if I didn't say that. So I thought I would put in these 2 and see if I can maybe hit pan or finish one or both of these as quickly as the face powder. Obviously it won't go quite as quickly because I'm not coating my face in blush like I am face powder, but we'll see. It would be nice to make some headway in getting my numbers down. Blush is really daunting to try and decrease the number of blushes that I have. So if I could get 1 out, it would be great and very encouraging. So I switched out my blush and I put 2 in here just so that I have a little bit more color options so that I don't get so bored, because I can use a more peach blush, a pink blush, or I can swirl them together for like a kind of rosy coral color. So I've got those. These have not been used. They haven't been used in this project. They have some use on them. All 3 of these were from my Pro Kit. And so they all had some use beforehand, but not from my own face. So now I am using them and I am excited to use them. And then I've got this Tarte bronzer in here. This one, you can't really, there's no like dips or anything, but the little pattern has started to wear away up here, which is encouraging. Yeah, I'm really glad that I decided to change out the blush, because I think that trying to work on both of these would have been very discouraging because they are very slow to show progress. And then finally I have this highlighter. This is from the same palette as the Tarte bronzer and the blush that was in here before. They all came in a limited edition Christmas palette from Tarte, and I just depotted all of them. And so this highlighter, it's still got a swatch on here from the last video. Surprise, I'm pre-filming. So it's just like a really pale pink shimmer, which is fine. I don't like a lot of highlights, so it's subtle enough that I don't feel like I need to wipe it off right away, because that's how I feel about a lot of highlighters. So there it is. There's a nice little, there's a little bit of a dip in it. I don't think you might be able to see it from the side. No, because this camera's terrible, so you can't see anything. Sorry. So there is a little bit of a dip in there. I am not expecting to hit pan on either of these for a very, very long time. That's probably my ultimate goal for both of these, is to hit pan within the year and make some decent pan on them. So I do not think that I will finish these, especially since I'm getting started on my Pan That Palette projects 6 months in. So a little late to the game, but that's all right. I will continue to make progress from here. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.